What was something spine-chilling that a parent said to you? My dad's last gift was his beloved Mustang, but when I finally got it after graduation, all I felt was emptiness. Dad was never emotional. He worked 60-hour weeks at the factory, paid the bills on time, and showed up to my basketball games. But he didn't do hugs or say, "I love you." That's just how he was raised. When I was 17, I got accepted to my dream college with a partial scholarship. I was beyond excited, but there was still a huge gap between the scholarship and what we could afford. I knew we weren't rich, but I figured we'd get loans or something. That night, I heard my parents arguing in their bedroom. Mom wanted me to go. Dad kept saying, "We don't have it." I pressed my ear against their door, heart pounding. "What about the house fund?" Mom asked. They'd been saving for a down payment for years, stuck in our tiny 2-bedroom apartment where I shared a room with my little brother. "That's all we have," Dad said. "If we use it, we're stuck here forever." The next morning, Dad seemed normal, reading the newspaper at the kitchen table. I pretended I hadn't heard anything. 2 days passed like this, the tension growing, nobody talking about college. Then Friday night, Dad came home later than usual. He looked exhausted, dark circles under his eyes. He handed me an envelope without saying anything. Inside was a check for exactly the amount I needed for freshman year. "Dad, how?" I started, but he cut me off. "I sold the Mustang," he said quietly. That car was his pride and joy. He'd bought it used when he was 19, before he met Mom. He'd spent weekends restoring it, teaching me about engines and transmissions as we worked on it together. It was the only thing he had that was just for him. So when he told me that, I was shocked. "No," I said, trying to hand back the check. "I'll get more loans or work or it's done," he said. Then he got up and walked to his bedroom without another word. The next morning, I found him standing in the empty parking spot where the Mustang used to be. I stood beside him, not knowing what to say. "I'm sorry about the car," I finally managed. Dad didn't look at me. He just kept staring at that empty space. "I never finished high school," he said. "Had to work after my dad left. Never had options." I'd never heard him talk about his childhood before. We stood in silence for another minute. "Your education is worth more than any car," he finally said. Then he turned to me, his eyes red. "But I need you to promise me something. Anything," I said. "When you graduate, don't come back here. Don't get stuck like I did. I went to college that fall, worked 2 jobs and kept my grades up, called home every Sunday." Dad never talked much during those calls. In my junior year, Dad had a massive heart attack at work. He was only 49. By the time I got to the hospital, he was gone. Going through his things, I found a folder with my name on it. Inside were all my report cards, some childhood drawings, and a recent bank statement showing that he'd been making payments on a loan, the same amount as my tuition each semester. He'd never sold the Mustang. He'd just hidden it in Uncle Mike's garage and taken out a second mortgage on our apartment. Mom had no idea. I graduated with honors the next year. Mom came alone. After the ceremony, she handed me the keys to the Mustang. "He wanted you to have this when you finished," she said. "He was so proud of you." Inside the glove compartment was a note. "You kept your promise." I kept the car. Now both of you are free. But standing there, keys in hand, I felt nothing but emptiness. The achievement meant nothing without him there. All those years of sacrifice, the debt he took on, the extra hours he worked, all for a moment he never got to see. The Mustang sits in my garage now. I can't bring myself to drive it. Sometimes I just sit in it and think about how he'll never know if his sacrifice was worth it, and how no diploma or car could ever fill the space he left behind.